Hey, and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show today. Happy 4th of July Eve. I know that some people aren't going to be here because they have fireworks on July 3rd, which doesn't make any sense to me. It's a Thursday, whatever. Anyway, so we're going to have a great show tonight. I'm going to be talking about the law of attraction in a kind of different way than many people present it, as well as the law of resonance, which ties in directly with the law of attraction. But for you guys who are here a lot, I have some very exciting news. Very exciting news. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Okay, I have to paint the walkway on the porch, but that's it. The house is done. It has been cleaned today. I have a little tidying up outside to do, but it makes me so happy. And I'm sharing that with you. You guys are the first ones to hear all about, well, I'm not going to tell you all about it. Can you tell I'm just a little bit excited? Anyway, okay, let's come back, Rita. All right, so let's talk law of attraction. And so I think most of you that are here or are listening to this show have heard of the concept of the law of attraction. But if you're not familiar with it, it is the idea that we create our own reality with the tagline of like attracts like. So if you're a certain way, you're going to attract those things into your life that are a reflection of who and what you are. But they kind of, when they discuss how to make the law of attraction work, basically, and this is in the more contemporary iterations of it, they suggest if you think about something, if you think about it really hard, that it's going to come to you. But originally, when the idea of the law of attraction first came out, and I mean, this concept goes back, and actually, let me see if I can find the quote, because see, there's the freaking law. I was looking for this section and could not find it. But anyway, we're good. Law of attraction. So originally, people like Marcus Antonius said, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts made it. So he's Roman. And then the Buddha says, all that we are is a result of what we have thought. And then in the Bible, it says, do not conform to the pattern of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. And so this concept, obviously, of things being attracted to us has been around for centuries, thousands of years. But it's interesting because, and so that concept that went along with that, and this is writings of early spiritualist writers, so the late 1800s, early 1900s, was this idea of quieting the mind and getting aligned with source, getting in the present moment and getting in alignment. And we do that when we're being mindful and when we're being present, period. When we're not worried about the past, we're not having anxiety about the future, but we're just here in the now experiencing what's going on at this point in time. And it is in that dynamic, and I'm going to get into this a little further, in that dynamic that we can attract to us because we can attract to us good things because our energy is good. We're in a good alignment. But for some reason, in the early 1900s, it changed. Like the book Think and Grow Rich came out is the one that's coming to mind off the top of my head. And the concept of law of attraction, or if you saw the movie The Secret, it had the same idea. And basically it said that if I want something, you know, all I have to do is think about it and think about it a lot and think about it really hard. But it became different from my energy is good, and whatever is good for me is going to be attracted in my life without judgment, without any conditions, without any attachment to, I want this, and I want this to come into my life. And it changed the focus from our connection from self to source to this very ego driven thing of, I want stuff. And it doesn't work when you put out the energy of, I want stuff. And this is where we're going, because, okay, so that's the precept of the law of attraction. And it works because of another universal law, which is the law of resonance. So the law of resonance suggests, and it's again a universal law, that, okay, if you're sitting there thinking about, you know, I want a new car, I want a new car, wait, I want a new car, or I want a new job, and I'm going to make a vision board about this new job and all these things that I want. It's a thought process, okay? But we do not radiate particularly our thoughts. What gets sent out into the universe are our feelings. And it's the energy of our feelings that are returned. And so think of it this way. Think about it as like tuning forks. And so if you have, because they're in notes, A, B, C, D, you know, so if you have a middle C tuning fork and you bang it on the table, another middle C tuning fork will start to vibrate and they will be in resonance. So if I'm vibrating it at a C and you're vibrating at a C, then we're going to be vibing together and we're going to be hanging out and like doing all this great stuff because we're vibing. But if you're a D or an A or some other letter and not C, you're not picking up that vibration. And so, so if you, sorry, I need a lot. It's Lozinger time. Sorry. You know, so if what you're putting, so no, I'm going to say this differently. So if where your vibration is on a daily basis, on a regular basis, is an F, and I'm using F because there are a lot of words that are tied to F that I'm not going to say out loud, but not good energy because you're F'd up. It's like, and that's what you're sending out into the universe, then what you're going to get are those things returned back to you because all you're activating in the world are all those F'd up things. And that's what's going to come back. Let me share this story. True. You know, all my stories are true. And they're all like, oh my God. So many years ago, I wanted to start teaching psychic development classes and just, you know, do a little series or little workshop or whatever, you know, and I would book a space and do ads and, you know, promote it the best I could. And it would start off where I'm like seeing all these people come and it's going to be this great event and it's going to be successful. But as time would go on and it would get closer, all I kept feeling was that no one was going to show up, you know, or no, that I would be afraid. See, there's a feeling. I would be afraid that no one would show up. So now in hindsight, I recognize that what I was telling the universe was nobody show up, nobody show up, nobody show up. And guess what? I got what I wanted. Nobody showed up. And so it really is what happens. You know, something else that I've been noticing, I'm going to say this past year, I mean, this was a little aha moment for me, is if I have bad energy, you know, like there's something going on and I'm kind of ruminating about it or I'm upset about it, then things start blowing up in the world around me, you know, and it kind of goes a little bit crazy. And so now if one little weird thing happens that's bad, I stop and I go, okay, you just had a bad thought and you got bad energy. Like, I become very mindful of it. And I go, okay, you got kind of bad energy. You need to stop and breathe and at least shift the energy to being neutral, because you already had this thing happen and you do not need to have, all of these things happen until your energy shifts into something else. Okay, different story, another true story. So I own a townhouse in Dallas, and for some reason the toilet was overflowing. And to make a long story short, I call a plumber, they come, they can't find anything wrong, but it's not fixing the toilet. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And it wasn't just the toilet. It was, if you turn the water on in the kitchen, it would make the toilet overflow. I mean, it was a big issue because you couldn't use anything anywhere. Anyway, so that was just really upsetting. And I'm on the phone and I'm arguing with the people. And then a couple of days later, the TV goes out, like this $2,000 big screen TV. I mean, this was a while ago before you could get them for $500, went out. And it was like, okay, so, that just added to this pot of crap that was going on in my space. And then the microwave shorted out right behind that. And that's when I started to laugh. And that's when I changed the energy. And I'm like, okay, 3 times a charm. And I just found the humor in it, and it all stopped. It literally all stopped. So if what you need is to have something negative happen around you, then maybe you need to stop and bring your awareness back inside to where you are and be mindful of your thoughts and emotions, especially your emotions in that point in time. But the other point is, if you are sitting there and thinking, I want this, I want a new car, or I want a new job, or whatever you want, the vibration, and this is a little dyslexic mind meld thing. The message that you're sending out there is, I don't have this. I don't have this. And so you can want it, but your vibration is negative because the implication is you don't have it. And so even that needs to be let go of, and you just be, the universe is going to take care of me. I'm going to trust in the universe. If I'm supposed to have a car, I'm going to get a car, but, I'm fine. Okay. Or I'll make it work out, and just let that go, because that is the negative emotion. That is a negative energy that you're putting out there. So don't do it. Don't do it. And it is not also, so I've had friends that were really into the law of attraction. They did the vision boards and they did all this stuff and they did affirmations and all this stuff, but they did nothing. They had this expectation that if they kept thinking about it and doing whatever about it, that the universe was going to come down and be like, hey, Dr. Rita, I know you haven't sent out any resumes, but we miraculously found you, and here we have this job for you. And it doesn't work that way. You have to bring that mindfulness in, but then also listen to what spirit is sharing with you and take action on those things, because God helps those who help themselves. And if you're not helping yourself, then nothing's going to happen. Even if it's in a negative way, it's not going to happen. So again, law of attraction is not about saying, I want this thing. It's about keeping your energy high. It's about keeping your alignment with source open and flowing. And it's through that high vibration that you're sending out in the universe, that things are going to be attracted back to you in the way that you need them. Pretty cool topic. So you see, I'm going to share this too. So you can tell I'm not so tired, because I'm like, hey, Um, I've been climbing up and down the ladder all damn day. Okay. So, as you know, if there are things going on in your life and you need some deeper insights or assistance, you need somebody to help you dig in, reach out to me. Go to my webpage, soulhealer.com. That's soulhealer.com. Tons of articles. All my books are there. Drop me a note, and I would love chatting with you. This show is also brought to you by the Institute of Applied Energetics. So have you ever thought about doing work like me? Have you ever thought about being a medical intuitive counselor, or energy medicine practitioner? Or even would you like to learn more about how to work with and utilize your own energy? Then visit my site, appliedenergeticsinstitute.com, and download my free, if I can get this to work, 50-page guide, Jumpstart Your Intuition. There's lots of exercises and provides a lot of insights into tapping into your psychic abilities. And you actually get to do some exercises where you're able to start down that road and become psychic yourself. Okay, let's see, last thing. And so if you are listening to the show on BitChute, on Rumble, on Substack, I love you guys, but if you want to come and join reading from me, it's Just Energy Radio, 3 words, 7 p.m. every Thursday evening Central Time, and we would love to have you. All right. So some rules of engagement. We've been getting some new people in, and I just want to share how things work. And so if you would like to get a reading first, put in the chat box that you would like to get a reading. And what I need for you to do is pick a number between 1 and 3, 1 and 3. And what the number means is that's how many times I will shuffle the cards on your behalf. Okay? So we are going to get started tonight. Okay. So our first runner is Master Player. Hey, Master Player. And he says, evening, a number 1, please, and thank you. You sure can, Master Player. All right. Let's see. What do you got going on? All right. That's your card for tonight. So Master Player, and I'm going to say this is having to do with you and somebody else. I feel like there's some conflict going on, some fighting. I'll just say fighting. I feel like you're being a little judgmental in the whole thing, although what you're thinking might be true. They might really be stupid, and they might need to be smacked. That is totally possible. I'm not really looking at their energy. What they want me to share with you is it's not really worth your energy in this confrontation. I feel like they're not going to get it. They're not going to learn from it. They're not going to grow. And is it really worth your energy by putting in and having it be upset by this other person? They just keep telling me there's not really a point to it, other than ego. So let it go. They're stupid, and they're stupid. And just have that be okay. All right. ERRT Radio. Let's see. Happy Thursday. Dr. Rita, great looking hair as always. Thank you. And then he says, next one. May I have a reading number 3, please? You sure can. Okay. Ooh. I was just thinking about these. Master player, what do you got going on? Okay, so when these cards come up, they're called mass cards. And they usually indicate where there's energy stuck or you're not hearing something or not processing some information. And I pull cards, double mass card master or ERRT radio. This is kind of seeming like a deep one. Okay. All right. So I kind of took an extra one because it wasn't super clear. Okay. So there were this many cards until I really felt a big shift. Okay, so I don't even like saying this on air, but I'm going to. So ERRT radio, I'm kind of getting the impression you're just not feeling very good today, and that you're being a little bit cranky, which is okay, and kind of frustrated. I feel like you're really looking to get some clarity as to what's going on and want to feel like you can put your feet on solid ground, but I feel like it keeps moving around, and with it, your emotional energy is going with that. And I feel like, so I don't know if that's something that you can get clarification on, from the people that you're working with. And I'm going to say, you might want to schedule an appointment with me because, that is what I do. Because I feel like it'll make you feel more grounded and it'll make you feel more empowered, as opposed to just like this tree blowing around in the wind, which I feel like for you is a really uncomfortable, unsatisfying, uncomfortable position to be in. So I hope that helps. All right, give me a second, guy. I pulled a lot of cards, which means I got a lot of cards to stick back in here. Because I don't like just sticking them on top, especially with the mass cards. No, they got to get mixed in good. All right. And I'm going to clear these bad boys real quick. Okay. All right. And then ERRT Radio says, happy 4th of July for tomorrow. All right. And now we have a new person. It's Sustainable ASMR. Don't know what that means. Hi, Sustainable. I know that you picked the number below, so I'm just going to scroll down to that. But I just wanted to say hi and welcome to the show. And thank you for tuning in tonight. Hey, Unar. We're number 3, please. You sure can, Unar. All right, and that's your card for today. So, Unar, you have a really interesting energy dynamic going on right now. I feel like on one hand, you have had this really big success. I feel like you've accomplished something, you've achieved something, you've moved to the top of the hill. So there is this very positive piece to it. But then there is this other piece, more on an internal level, where it's kind of scaring the crap out of you, with feelings of like do I really deserve this? You know, like this positive thing, or is it going to be okay, or waiting for the next shoe to drop? And I'm not feeling like the like the two things should be next to each other. You know, so I don't know if that's a pattern that you have kind of regular, that when you do something that kind of sets you out in front and you have this successful thing happen, if it brings up a lot of fear in you, you know, especially about being noticed, and about accepting like the pats on the back. I mean, I'm having a little bit of hard time tapping into like what that right word is, other than, you know, there's this fear of acknowledgement or something to that effect. But you did it, so own it and be proud of it. Wave it around. Hell, I just did at the beginning of the show. Anyway, you guys that I've read so far, if this makes sense, please let me know. I would appreciate it. All right. We have Yvonne. Hi, Dr. Rita. Can I get a number 2? Thank you. You sure can. All right, Yvonne, and that's your card for today. So Yvonne, it's interesting. I get the impression that, I'm going to either say people or a person is trying to get your attention. You just keep showing me like, yeah. Like you're not really interested in putting out your energy for stuff that, I'm going to say, that you haven't initiated or you haven't really bought into. I feel like this person is like trying to get you to do something that you don't want, and you're holding up your boundary. You're saying, well, I'm not really digging this and I don't really want it. You know, like, so go away. And so I just want to validate that place for you, that you are bringing yourself into the equation and using your feelings to make decisions about how you're going to use your energy. So good job. Good job. All right. This was next up. It's like, bury that bad boy. Unar says, I look fab tonight. Thank you, Unar. All right. All right, so sustainable. I'm just going to call you sustainable because I don't know what that ASMR is. So sustainable. Want to number 2. So number 2. Okay. Sustainable. Okay, so sustainable came in and had a question. I said that she needed to pick a number, and I'm going to kind of address sustainable. I'm going to kind of address your question in a very obtuse way. And so these cards again say that this is where your energy's blocked, or you don't want to deal with something or whatever. And this is the card that I'm going with. And usually I won't pick this as a clearing card, but every card that I picked after that, I was getting no. So I'm going to just go with this one because this one actually is speaking to me. And what I am feeling is that, and I'm going to put this with regard to your question, is that it's time to let it go. I feel like it's really not helping you. actually, I'm gonna share this in a story. So I was doing a reading. It was at a fair for this woman who wanted to know about a relationship that she was having. I don't remember the details. And I was like, I'm just not feeling it, and I'm just not feeling like this thing's going to move forward. And I had a lot of commentary about it. And she said, well, I went to this psychic and she said that I was going to meet this guy with red hair and he was going to have a kid and this and this and this. And after a year, things would be really good. But a year's passed and things aren't really good. And it just leaves me with the commentary, and I'm kind of, stories come up for me because there's a message in them. That this woman sucked up her energy because this guy apparently was not good, and he was not good for her, but she hung in there waiting an entire year because this psychic person said, oh, well, blah, 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 and in a year. And I feel like there's a lot of your energy being sucked into getting an answer to your question that is really holding up your life. I mean, if it happened, it happened, and there's not anything that you can do about it now other than accept that that's the reality of where your life has been. I'm going to make a different commentary. And so when I look at your emotional space, I see some early trauma, but who doesn't have some early trauma? But if what happened was as severe and intense as what you asked about was the case, then my answer is I'm not feeling it. Now, the only caveat that I would put to that is if the person who is the perpetrator was someone that you knew, it was a family member, then it would have lessened the trauma versus being a complete stranger. But I am not seeing that level of trauma in your space back in that time period. Where I'm seeing some coming in is you being about 4 years old. But not like that, and regardless, it's like, I feel like you've had a good life. I feel like, you've had a reasonably happy life, so maybe it's just time to unload that trash and move on. I don't mean trash, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, let's see. All right. Marco, you made it. Amazing hair and lips. Hi, wow. Hi, wow. Hi, Dr. Rita. Hi, Marco. I am so happy to see you. It's been a while. All right. Karen says, happy Thursday, Dr. Rita. May I have a reading, please? Number 3. Thank you. And you sure can, Karen. Number 3. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, and that's your card for today. Karen, I'm feeling like you are feeling maybe a little bit lost. I'm feeling like there's part of you that is looking for some guidance or direction. I feel like what you have tapped into in the past is not there. And I'm going to say right now. I do feel like you have an alternative, that you can check inside, that you can talk to your guide, to your higher self, or whatever word you want to put there, and ask, well, what should I be doing next? Or what should I be doing now? And I've said this before, and bring it closer to in this moment and move it moment by moment, because I feel like the big over encompassing piece of information is just not there right now. And that's okay. And that's okay. Okay. And sometimes when it's just not there, sometimes it's an indication that maybe it's time to rest. Not that I can do that, but maybe some people can. And then Amy says, hi, Dr. Rita, happy Thursday. I have a number 2 today. Thank you for all your assistance. It's working. Yay. Oh, we need to talk outside of here. Good, Amy. Number 2. All right, Amy, number 2. Interesting card for you today. Okay, hell hath no fury than a woman that's on a mission. So Amy, good job. Congratulations. I feel like you have taken what I've said and what other people have said, so I'm not going to take 100% of this, and have really put it into motion. So if you're starting to feel better, it's mostly because you are taking the initiative to take care of yourself, to move things forward. It's interesting because, and I'm going to see if I can get this on camera, there's this like plane that's blowing up. And it just made me go, wow, I wonder if that thing's blowing up. So maybe it's blowing up. That would be really cool. So there's thanking me, but I want to thank you back that you could hear what I had to say and kind of through me hear what these other people had to say, so that you could sit there and kind of go balls to the walls and take care of what you need to do. So good job. Good job. All right. And Christine. Hey, Christine. May I have a reading number 2, please? You sure can, Christine. Oops, that was 2. All righty, and that's your card for today. So Christine, sometimes you guys show me stuff that I just don't even want to talk about, but I'm here, and this is what, I'm supposed to be doing. But your energy just feels really, really heavy, like really heavy. And I'm feeling like, and this is what they want, this is what they're telling me that I'm supposed to be telling you. It's like, and you're feeling like you don't have a choice, period. You don't have a choice. And what they want me to tell you is you do have a choice, but the choice, or the, keep on this path or choose to go over there, choose this other road, in this moment seems harder, seems more challenging. I feel like you keep pushing it to the side because like you're stuck, you're on this road and it doesn't seem practical. Okay, different story. So I had the girlfriend, because we don't speak anymore because she kind of had bad energy. And some of you might have known her because she used to come to the chat. But she would complain and complain and complain about her job. Oh my God, and it was toxic. Her job was toxic. Her boss was toxic. I mean, it was just bad. And I would sit there and go, well, why don't you go find a different job? Maybe you take a little pay cut, because she did make a lot of money, and just be done with it, and be happy. Go do something that is going to make you happy, or at least get out of that toxic, narcissistic piece of crap that you're stuck in. And she would give me all kind of 5 million excuses of why she couldn't leave. And they all revolved around, the amount of money that she was making and blah, 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 blah. But then it's kind of like, don't complain to me that you're not happy, because there is another choice. You're just choosing not to make that choice, because that choice might be harder. For you, Christine. So I don't know what that other choice is. Stop it. Okay, let's see. Karen says that my hair looks amazing. It always looks really good, like right before I go get it cut. What's with that? And it's Bradley. Hey, Bradley, how are you? All right. Okay, so Sustainable says, can you do my house next? It's like, Sustainable, I gave you a much more personal reading than I normally give anybody. And so, and you only get to pick one number. But, you can always go to my webpage, soulhealer.com, and set up a time for a private consultation. I would be more than happy to work with you one-on-one. All right. All right. I know. Right now, I totally lost my spot. There we go. Master Player says, well done, Rita. Okay, Master Player, great. Karen says, congrats on the house being done. Thank you. Thank you. And I am, so you're going to be subject to this, I am going to be putting together a video of like the before and the construction and after pictures. So that it's going to be a few weeks, but you'll get to see everything. Okay. Hey, Don. And he says, hi, Dr. Rita. I'm late again. Don, you're not late, because you do get here. And all right, it's getting a little close, but you're here and you're going to get a reading. And you want a number one, and you sure can, Don. All right, that's your card for today. All right. Dawn, I don't even know how. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. The first thing that I got was, you kind of like yourself maybe a little bit for like 3 seconds today. I mean, and then it went back to like, I'm a piece of shit. But you liked yourself. Huge change. Huge change. I got nothing else. You liked yourself. I am so proud of you. So proud of you. Hey, Deb. Okay, so let's see. I know you're not going to ask for a reading, but you're going to get one anyway. Ha 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 ha. And I'm going to do a 3 for you. I mean, I would do 6 because that's how many cats you have, but that ain't happening. All right, let's see. Ooh. All right, that's your card for today. Wow. Okay, Deb. So, I just have to say it. I mean, I just am seeing all this frustration in your space right now. I'm feeling like you're feeling like, when is it going to end? Almost like the universe is out to get you. But if you listen to the beginning of the show, maybe, the universe is out to get you because you're kind of getting yourself, even though that sounds really terrible. And I love you. So I'm not saying that because I'm being mean. Okay. And I'm going to add this. So when I look at you, and I'm being real here. When I look at you, and I look at your light, and I look at your upbeat, positive nature, it is like it's in the bomb shelter with like this bubble of light around it, going, "No, go away." And it literally feels like it's in the basement. I mean, it has been reduced to that far. And so, all right, so this just came in my head. I'm going to say it. It just makes me wonder, and I don't even want to say this out loud, but it is, what is it going to take for you to hit rock bottom so that you are going to change it? And maybe you're not going to be able to change it until you hit rock bottom. And if you hit rock bottom, what is that going to be? And I don't even want to know what that's going to be, because I know everything. So yeah, but I love you. I am feeling like you're getting close. You know, I hope it's like, you know, you rip a shirt or something easy like that. Oh. Okay, so let's see. Marco says, I heart your top. Ah, funny, Marco. All right. Don says, the law of attraction doesn't apply to me because I still gotten what I want ever. Okay, not exactly sure what you're meaning by that, but okay. All right. Okay, new name. Hi, Lori. Nice to see you. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to a reading for you today. There's a lot of stuff ahead of you, but I appreciate you coming. And if you'd like to get a reading and I don't get to you today, please do come back next week and maybe come a little earlier, or go to my webpage, soulhealer.com, and set up a time for a private consultation. Marco says, Rita, I see you kept that heart necklace. Marco, don't even say that. Don't even say that. Okay, so now I'm going to like turn you off here so I can point. All right, so, oops. See, now I lost my spot. You made me lose my spot. See, now I'm lost. All right, there was Lori. Okay, there was the heart necklace. Okay, so I'm back to where I was. Okay, so Wayne, my late husband, gave me this necklace for Christmas one year. And every day he would take his finger and put it on the heart and go, and infuse it with energy. So that's like blasphemy, Marco. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Anyway, all right, so I said hi to Lori. Hey, Joe, nice seeing you. All right. Okay, and so also, if there's something that you want for me to read on air, then I need for you to put it in capital letters so that I can respond to it, especially when it's really busy chat going on like there is today. All right, so Master Player said no self-check, the new Walmart, at least in my local Walmart. No self-check? I hate self-check, and they hate me too. And then he says, when they have self-check, it was fine. Now when they shut them down, big problems. Oh, you mean like making it so there's only one or two just to screw people over? And then other than that, great reading, and you look awesome. Thank you, Master Player. Okay, so let's see. Jeannie, hey, Jeannie. And she says, hey, Dr. Rita. Dale and I are here. Hi, Joe Heller. Miss you. Hey, Jeannie. Hi, Dale. Nice to see you. All right. All right. All right. So Jessica says, hey, Dr. Rita Louise, happy Thursday and happy 4th. I'm sorry I missed a few crazy changes happening. May I have a number 3 reading? The universe knows because big changes are happening. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so, and I'm going to say this again, and maybe not for tonight because we only got a few minutes left, but you guys really need to put your commentary to me in capital letters because, I mean, there's just a lot of like, hey, how you doing? You know, blah, 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 going on in the background, and it just eats up your reading time if I'm reading through all of that. So be respectful to your neighbors and fellow chat people. Thank you. Nice to see you back, Jessica, by the way. All right, that's your card for today. Okay, so Jessica, so I don't really know what's going on in your world, but I feel like you finally have a plan and you finally, and I'm going to say maybe see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like you feel that it is accomplishable now, and it's not just this giant cluster of mess and stuff all thrown together and you just sitting there trying to unwind it, which I feel like was the most challenging part of it all, of you being able to navigate it and put it in its place and come up with a timeline and get it all organized, not necessarily on the physical plane, but in your mind as to what needs to happen first, what needs to happen second, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which I feel like for you is just taking a lot of the pressure off of you and making it seem like you could actually do it and be done and not running around like crazy woman. So good job. And it will make it better. It'll make it better. Hey, John, happy 4th. So I'm not going to give you a reading today because I think you left before I did your reading. All right. Okay, I'm going to read this one out loud. So Christine said, yes, had a wild week so far. My car randomly set on fire and I have to start all over. It's just a lot to deal with. Ugh. Okay. Amy says, yes, taking it very seriously to put my Aries head down and just do everything possible to clear the junk out. Good job. And Amy, I'm feeling like, if you're feeling better, that means it's working. But yeah, that was the impression I got, was just like, hit it and hit it hard. All right, so Jessica says, Rita Louise is so right. You have to leave that narcissistic environment. It's nothing but toxic to all parts of you. Yeah. All right. All right. ERRT Radio says, great reading and great topic tonight. Well, thank you, and you're welcome. Jeannie says, love you and great show. All right, Jessica says, can you read my out loud? It's okay, I trust you. Miss you, sweet friend. I missed you too, and it's so nice to see you back. She's back. Great show and great hair tonight. Well, thank you, guys. All right, so, wow, I actually got to the bottom of the list. There was just a lot of chatting going on. And I'm sorry if there was something that you meant for me to share with the group or say out loud, or you were commenting to me. Again, there's a lot of chat going on, and it's just hard for me to sort through if it's all in lowercase letters. Anyway, guys, so, let's see. Jessica says, I'm going through a divorce from a narcissist and return to my college sweetheart. I'm happier now than ever. You'll listen to Rita. She knows what she's talking about. And just think about it, Jessica. I just make this shit up. Every time it's like, oh, let's see. Okay, that's your card. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so Amy's finding PayPal is pretty easy to leave you a little something for the reading. Yeah. So, if you guys want, enjoy your reading, I would really appreciate it if you would go to soulhealer.com/live, which is a link at the top, and which is the tip jar. And if you want to leave me a little something in the tip jar, you can do that. There's a PayPal link, as well as you can use the shopping cart, which is via credit card, and show your appreciation for what I bring to you every week. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. And I've asked you guys before, and I'm open for topics. So if there's something you would like for me to talk about on air, I would love the suggestions. And I think it was Unar who suggested I talk about Schumann resonances, which I would love to do a show on Schumann resonances. But I just understand like the basic concept. And, lately people have been putting up the charts with the Schumann resonances, and it's got the white over here and it's red over there. And I am actually kind of lost. And I tried watching videos, and there was this one guy who was actually kind of cute, who was like an astrophysicist or something. And, I'm listening to him, and it was like, whoosh. I couldn't understand it. And it sounded very comprehensive, but when you're sitting here talking about, well, like this is so many gigahertz, and you multiply that by this, and then you take the square root of that. It's like, yeah, you lost me. Anyway, so Unar, if that was you, I'm looking into it, but I'm not really feeling it at this point in time. But I mean, anything is, throw it on the table. Me, I'll look at it. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go. Again, this show is brought to you by soulhealer.com. So if you want to schedule a private consultation with me, reach out to me. If you have a show idea that you would like to bounce off of me, send it to, go to my webpage and use the contact form. Reach out to me on Facebook or any of the channels that I'm on. Please like and subscribe to my different channels, YouTube, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, BitChute. I have a Substack account that I post to a lot more than Facebook, and that's at Dr. Rita Louise on Substack. Anyway, guys, you all have a happy 4th of July, and until next week, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.